folk track that they've performed live. The Baul singer who's performed live, whose house that Amit Shah is visiting. He's performed for Amit Shah right before the lunch. Here's Amit Shah at the family's residence, going to be interacting with them. He's just heard a small musical rendition by the folk singer. He's now going to be having lunch with them and then hitting on to the mega road show that's scheduled right after this in Bolpur. In fact, this is a mega campaign that Amit Shah has launched months before assembly elections in West Bengal. Here is Amit Shah already setting the stage right before the assembly polls in West Bengal, where he meets, greets, and this is his third massive visit in West Bengal. And seems like the BJP cadre there completely motivated, pumped up ahead of the polls, pushing their way through, making huge inroads in West Bengal. As Indrajit took us through, 10 MLAs have now defected from the TMC to the BJP, 10 of them. And that's come as a major booster and emboldened the BJP, to say the least, within West Bengal. In fact, Amit Shah has said at an open stage just yesterday that Mamata Banerjee will be reduced to, or rather she'll be standing alone at the end of it, that she'll have nobody left by her side. That's precisely what Amit Shah said, targeting the defections and the attrition within the TMC, saying that TMC is corrupt. Eventually, the party leaders itself are not happy. People of West Bengal are unhappy. Eventually, Mamata Banerjee will be left alone. There won't be anyone beside her. Here is Amit Shah there as he ups his strategy, his campaign tour in West Bengal, meets and greets personally, spends quality time with wherever he goes, whichever spot that he visits. He's spending quite some time, at least an hour-ish, that he's there, present, interacting with those people. Like, for example, this luncheon that was planned at a Baul folk singer's residence. He's seated there along with several of the other BJP cadre, eating lunch with the family members of the Baul singer, having an interaction with them, and then headed towards the massive rally that's been conducted, a roadshow that's been conducted in Bolpur. Let's cut across to Indrajit. Indrajit, visuals coming in of Amit Shah just about starting his lunch with the Baul singer's family. He heard a small musical rendition given by the Baul singer as well. It was quite surreal, to say the least. Very interesting to see Amit Shah enjoying a time right before his massive roadshow that he's planned in Bolpur. What kind of sentiments does this evoke, Indrajit? Are people of West Bengal, the locals there, the actual voters, impressed by the kind of campaign that Amit Shah is carrying out? Because it isn't just a campaign rally where he's touring, seated inside a car, waving to crowds. This is interaction, personal interaction, where he's going, visiting places, spending about an hour or so, interacting with people, understanding the culture, getting to know them, giving them promises and assurances. And when it comes from a central leader, it comes with a lot more impact. There's a lot more trust that one can sort of thrust among its voters, considering he has the power to do so. How does this really trickle down on ground among the voters of West Bengal?
Well, these are very carefully crafted optics, and the fact that every time Home Minister Amit Shah is here in Bengal, he's choosing specific families, specific target groups where the BJP wants to campaign in. So therefore, we've seen him having lunch at a Matua household, clearly targeting the Matua vote bank, which is very crucial for the BJP. He's had a lunch at a farmer's house yesterday in Midnapur. So that was targeting the farmers at a time when the farmers' protest is raging on in New Delhi. Today, of course, a Baul family. Why? Because he is in Shantiniketan, the land in Bolpur, the land of Rabindranath Tagore, his Vishwa Bharati University, enshrined in culture. And in tune with that, Amit Shah chose specifically this venue as well as this family, so that the message trickles down to the electorate here in West Bengal that the campaign that the Trinamool Congress has continuously unleashed against the BJP is that it is a party of outsiders, that they are Bohiragato, or outsiders, do not understand the culture, the milieu, the cultural milieu of West Bengal. So this is the BJP's effort to counter that narrative, to counter that propaganda by the Trinamool Congress. And as we have been speaking, here on the streets of Kolkata at Jorashako Thakurbari, which is the residence of Rabindranath Tagore, the Trinamool Congress is organizing a cultural fest through which they are protesting Amit Shah's visit to Bengal. I just spoke to Dr. Shashi Panja, Bengal minister, and she articulated that, saying every time Home Minister Amit Shah, for that matter any BJP leader, visits Bengal, it's an assault on the culture of the state. So that's the stated policy as far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, and therefore Amit Shah's lunch, repeated instances of such events over the past few weeks does hold significance for the BJP, because for long the BJP has been fighting this image of being a party of non-Bengalis, of Hindi speakers, of a party from North India. In order to be able to win maximum number of seats and reach out to maximum number of people here in West Bengal, it has to get out of that mold where it is being targeted as a party of North India and party of Hindi-speaking people. So therefore, possibly, this is Amit Shah's cultural outreach at a time when the Trinamool Congress is alleging that the BJP is assaulting the culture of West Bengal. Back to you.
That's precisely what I asked a little earlier there. Indrajit, what are the student wing activists or the protesters protesting against? Are they protesting about, or are they protesting against BJP making inroads in West Bengal? The fact that it's not a local or a Bengali-centered party. But the point being here, anyone can contest in West Bengal. Why isn't there the same backlash against, say, AIMIM, who's already announced entry into West Bengal? They're going to be fighting elections in West Bengal. You have AAP now saying that they're also going to be fighting in West Bengal. So this targeted hate towards BJP, is it because of the kind of politics that BJP is indulging in, or is it just the fact that they, accusing them of not knowing the culture? For that matter, none of the other parties might know the culture. AIMIM might not know it. You have even AAP who might not know it, but they still foray into electoral politics. This is a democracy where in India, West Bengal is part of India. Any party is more than welcome to contest.
Well, this is the narrative that the Trinamool wants to set. This is a political tactic in order to target the BJP as a party of outsiders, and therefore the Trinamool Congress is moving ahead with its narrative through today's protest, the cultural protest that the Trinamool Congress wants to mount today at a time when Home Minister Amit Shah is visiting Shantiniketan, paying his tribute to Rabindranath Tagore. It can be nothing bigger than that. Rabindranath Tagore, the biggest cultural icon of Bengal, something which is so close to the hearts of each and every Bengali. It's in a sense his legacy is intertwined in the lives of people here in West Bengal, and therefore nothing comes closer to Rabindranath Tagore's legacy in the actual lives of ordinary Bengalis. And both these political parties understand that. And therefore the Trinamool Congress is trying to appropriate Bengali icons like Rabindranath Tagore, Swami Vivekananda, Vidyasagar, and they are continuously highlighting the point that last time when Amit Shah visited West Bengal during the 2019 Lok Sabha election campaign, the bust of Vidyasagar, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, was vandalized at the Vidyasagar College in Kolkata. And the Trinamool Congress does not want to leave across this opportunity to hit out at the BJP, saying that, look, this is what the party does. They do not know the culture of Bengal. They hate the culture of Bengal and they hate Bengalis. And therefore, such an assault was mounted. On its part, the BJP is trying to create a counter narrative, saying and reach out to the masses, saying that this is a party which is equally respectful of the Bengali culture, and therefore Home Minister's visit to Shantiniketan and paying tribute to Rabindranath Tagore today and visiting the birthplace of Swami Vivekananda yesterday and paying his tributes to Vivekananda are seen as very, very important and significant optics.
Right. Indrajit, this is the visual that we get here, live shots of Amit Shah having lunch at the Baul Singers residence along with the family members. This is going to be quite a hearty meal. I still remember how just a few weeks ago, if we could say or remember, Mamata Banerjee had hit out at Amit Shah, accusing him of eating lunch at a farmer's residence, saying that he did not eat the lunch that was served by the family. Instead, he had his own cook who came, prepared the food and served it to him at the farmer's house. And that was just theatrics. It was just to gain, it was for photo optics. That was the reason why he was there. But he was eating food made by his own Brahmin cook, but not what the farmer had served. But here it's quite evident, as from what we see here, Amit Shah indulging in a hearty meal, eating in full media glare, eating the food that's prepared by the Baul family singers. In fact, the family of the Baul singer has cooked and prepared this food, and our reporters are right there taking a good look at the kind of preparations that the family has made, and Amit Shah indulging in those delicacies. What would you say to that? It seems like the BJP has come back hard on TMC's allegations.
Well, as I said, these are nothing but optics, and politicians do that all the time in order to send across a message. So therefore, Amit Shah chose this occasion and chose this platform of having a lunch at various, target audiences in order to reach out those specific masses. So having a lunch, having a meal at a farmer's house, at a Matua community member's house, and now, of course, at a folk singer, Baul singer's house, is nothing but a careful strategy to reach out to its specific constituent that the BJP wants to target. Remember, it's going to be a very, very crucial election this time, and therefore no party wants to leave any stone unturned. And so at a time when the BJP and the Home Minister himself is on a visit to Bengal, the Trinamool is also out on the streets here in Kolkata. So you can understand the high-stake battle that's unfolding here during these elections. And even though elections are about a few months left, we can already feel the electrifying atmosphere on the ground, as if campaign have already started for the polls, even though about 4 months left, and the model code of conduct is yet to be put in place. The election dates are yet to be announced, but things are really hotting up on the ground. And visits like these, high-profile visits like that of Home Minister Amit Shah and a barrage of senior leaders of the BJP from outside, they have just triggered a massive war of words between the Trinamool and the BJP. Back to you.
Right. Indrajit, like you just said, TMC is also upping its ante. It's setting up the stage. Rebuttals coming in point by the TMC. Amit Shah just yesterday spoke on a series of events, made some series of allegations against the TMC for not passing down the funds issued by the Center for Development of People of Bengal, for the farmers, for the flood victims. Now, money was given that hasn't gone to the right hands. Instead, TMC goons have taken it away. They've eaten it up. Mamata Banerjee has allowed this. TMC is corrupt. Number of points that Amit Shah made, point by point rebuttal that's come in from Derek O'Brien. He's put out a tweet which is pointed out 7 points and more, in fact, where he says all those allegations made by Amit Shah are false. He comes back, Derek O'Brien gives out statements and clarifications on the same. If you can take us through those points that Derek O'Brien has made, hitting out at Amit Shah, how much of validity does it really have?
Well, what the Trinamool Congress is trying to do is trying to give a fact check of the kind of allegations that Amit Shah made yesterday. The biggest being that Mamata Banerjee has quit the Congress in order to join the Trinamool Congress, which the Trinamool clearly claims and is factually incorrect. Because Mamata Banerjee was expelled from the Congress party, the Trinamool says, and after which Mamata Banerjee came out and formed her own party. She did not join a party, she formed her own party. She launched the All India Trinamool Congress. Amit Shah, of course, was speaking yesterday and he spoke about people jumping from one party to the other in that context, in that reference, because there were allegations and questions being raised over Shubhendu Adhikari quitting Trinamool Congress, switching sides and joining the BJP. So in that context, Amit Shah said that it's not just Shubhendu Adhikari. Why is the Trinamool questioning his decision when his party supremo, his former party chief, Mamata Banerjee herself had joined another party? The Trinamool coming out with the clarification that Mamata Banerjee never quit any party. She was expelled, she came out and she formed a new party, the All India Trinamool Congress.
So it was point by point rebuttal that Amit Shah, in fact, that Derek O'Brien came up with Amit Shah's allegations that he had made. Against that, Derek O'Brien saying that Amit Shah has made 7 concocted statements in his speech, and by Amit Shah's standards, it's still a lot less. That's the way he's mocked him. But apart from that, when it comes to hitting out at Amit Shah's campaign, it's mostly centered around the Bengali pride. And that's what it seems like Derek O'Brien is picking on, and of course the other TMC leaders as well, hitting hard against the BJP on the culture and the BJP's understanding of the Bengali pride. Speaking of that particular poster, which you also mentioned, Indrajit, where Rabindranath Tagore's image is in the center, there's a local BJP leader's picture, which is the bottom of the poster, and Amit Shah's image, the picture, which is on top of the poster. So that the TMC leader has hit out, saying this shows the high-handedness of Amit Shah and the arrogance. That's the message that they've sent out over that poster. And like you rightly said, when it comes to Bengali pride, it seems like the TMC is really heating up its attack against the BJP, not sparing any angle, any moment to raise the issue of Bengali pride, which the BJP, they accuse, is assaulting.
Well, you know, there have been several elections that I've covered here in West Bengal. This is unique in that sense because apart from all the other issues that generally gets highlighted during election, this time, for the first time, and perhaps for the first time in the history of West Bengal, that Bengali Asmita, or Bengali pride, ethnic pride, has become the issue that has taken center stage. And that is exactly what the Trinamool Congress is trying to do. It wants to make it a Bengali versus non-Bengali, a Bengali versus outsider, a domicile versus outsider battle, because it wants to target and corner the BJP, because already the West Bengal BJP is fraught with a lot of trouble, because the central leadership of the BJP is not very happy with the state leadership. There aren't much leaders from the state unit, and there is of course the question mark over who is going to be the chief ministerial face of the BJP. Given that the BJP is in a sense forced to bring leaders from other states to manage the campaign here in West Bengal, to manage the entire election machinery here in West Bengal, that has given ammunition to the Trinamool Congress, which is continuously hitting out at the BJP. Because you see, when the BJP leaders are coming to Bengal, Kailash Vijayvargiya, likes of Kailash Vijayvargiya, who are in charge of West Bengal, they are attending various political rallies and they are giving speeches in Hindi. The connect over language, the fact that they cannot speak in Bangla, is what the Trinamool Congress is trying to highlight, harp and use against them. And therefore this narrative that BJP is a party of outsiders. And the BJP is aware of this narrative, and therefore what we can clearly see is that Home Minister Amit Shah, when he spoke yesterday, and at the same time he visited Swami Vivekananda's residence, he talked about the legacy of Swami Vivekananda, he is talking about the freedom fighters from West Bengal, he is talking about the cultural traditions of West Bengal. This all shows that the BJP is trying to counter the Trinamool Congress's narrative that BJP is a party of outsiders. So you can see this is going to be a very, very unique election in which all other issues for the moment has been sidestepped, and the issue of ethnic pride and Bengali pride has taken complete center stage, at least for now.
Absolutely. Indrajit, do stay with us. Let's quickly cut across to Paulami Saha. Paulami joining us right from the spot where Amit Shah is going to be hitting the roadshow from. Paulami, Amit Shah, just after this lunch, will be headed towards Bolpur, where he's going to be holding a massive mega roadshow rally that he's going to be carrying out. This time around, it's going to be a rally of strength and might, because what we saw that happened with JP Nadda's convoy, we're hoping it doesn't repeat again. We're hoping that Mamata Banerjee has deployed enough security to manage the kind of crowds that will unfold right in that rally. And it's expected to be quite a heated one, considering the kind of, in fact, the show of strength that happened when JP Nadda came down through his rally, his convoy. That kind of people who gathered eventually landed up in a ruckus. Today too, because of what happened previously, it's going to be quite clear that BJP cadre are going to come in full force and gather in large numbers. Is the West Bengal government and the police able to handle it? Are they prepared from what you see?
In a way, going to, of course, win over as far as the people is concerned. That is Debashree Chaudhary, Nabila, who is a central minister in the union government, who is present over here as well. एक सवाल ये भी बनता है मैडम कि जो भाजपा इस तरह से रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर को श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित कर रही है, खुदीराम बोस के पास श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित कर रही है, तृणमूल का कहना है कि आप एक तरह से हिस्ट्री को, बंगाली कल्चर को, उसकी ट्रेडिशन को इस वक्त अपनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. ये आपसे नहीं हो पाएगा, आप इनफैक्ट खत्म कर देंगे इसको.
देखिए, टीएमसी अभी कुछ साल पहले इनका जन्म हुआ है, 97 में इनका जन्म हुआ है, और भाजपा जिनका उत्तरसूरी है बोला जाते हैं, वो जनसंघ का जन्म हुआ 1951 में, और इनका जो प्रतिष्ठा पुरुष बोला जाता है, प्रतिष्ठा पुरुष है, वो है डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी. ये पश्चिम बंगाल के वन ऑफ द लिटरेट पर्सन, मोस्ट लिटरेट पर्सन, एंड कलकत्ता यूनिवर्सिटी के वाइस चांसलर थे. ऐसा लोगों को हाथ से भाजपा की जन्म हुआ है, और भाजपा जन्म लगने से इनका जो आइडियोलॉजी है, आप लोग सारी दुनिया भी जानते हैं कि भाजपा का आइडियोलॉजी में देशात्मबोध और मनीषी जो लोग हैं, महापुरुष, इनको लेके चलते हैं. तो जिनका जन्म 20 साल पहले हुआ है, एक दल टूट के, मतलब कांग्रेस तोड़ के, सिर्फ सत्ता के लालच में, सीएम बनने का लालच में एक नया दल बनाई है. उनसे सीखने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है. आज भाजपा दुनिया के सबसे बड़ा पार्टी है. इसके कारण आज लगभग पूरा देश में कांग्रेस भी मिट गया है लगभग, और जितना लोग जो रीजनल पार्टीज भी थे, वो भी धीरे धीरे खत्म होने वाला है. किस कारण? भाजपा तो मारदंगा नहीं करते हैं.
पर आपने जो लक्ष्य रखा है देवश्री जी, लक्ष्य आपने 200 पार का लक्ष्य रखा हुआ है. इस वक्त 2 डिजिट में इस वक्त आपकी पार्टी है असेंबली में. 200 पार ज्यादा एम्बिशियस नहीं लगता आपको?
देखिए, हमारे जब 2014 में लोकसभा में सिर्फ 2 ही हमारे एमपी थे, और हम लोग लक्ष्य रखा था 2019 में 22, लगभग हम लोग टच कर लिया था. कुछ मार्जिन से, थोड़े से मार्जिन में हम लोग 4 सीट हार गए हैं. लेकिन इस समय धीरे धीरे हमारे वो भी टारगेट पूरे होने वाला है, क्योंकि कल भी एक सांसद हमारे साथ आए हैं. तो जब 2014 का बाद 2018 में बोला गया था, टारगेट लगाया गया था, 18 कैसे हो सकता है, 22 कैसे हो सकता है, ये किसी को पता नहीं था. आज जब लक्ष्य रखा है हम लोग 200 का पार, मैं कह रही दावे का साथ कह रही हूँ, 200 नहीं 200 का पार हो जाएगा. ये पश्चिम बंगाल का ट्रेडिशन है. जो लोग साथ देते हैं, पूरा खुल के साथ देते हैं.
शुक्रिया हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए. That was Union Minister of State for Women and Child Development, Debashri Chaudhary, one of the few Union ministers from the state of West Bengal, who was of course exuding a lot of confidence about the BJP's chances in these assembly elections. She of course is one of the 18 members of parliament who won from the BJP in this Lok Sabha election in 2019, a feat at the time that the BJP was going into the 2019 contest from the state of West Bengal. Nobody thought was achievable. They thought probably, like the last time round in 2014, they will probably get single-digit seat numbers. They had 3 MPs in 2014. In 2019, they have 18 MPs. She's one of them, and she says if that is the kind of performance we put together at a time, we've only started building our organization in a big way. Now, imagine the kind of results that we will get when, of course, we contest the polls in 2021. Nabila?
Right. Thank you very much for joining us with those details.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.